important, so you gotta speak out. Don't let your chance to be heard pass by. Spare not, let me hear you loud, proud. Shout it out real loud. Everybody wake up. Shout it out real loud. Everybody wake up. Wake up. No time for sleeping on the issues. This is Neutral Voices. We gon' deal with the issues. What do you really want? What
Oh, we're on. Y'all caught me. I was in my Mary J vibe. I'm sorry. Let me get these buds out my ear. Welcome to Neutral Voices. This is Dr. V, and we are getting ready to have an amazing conversation tonight. This is In Depth. Thank you for joining us. We're getting ready to talk about wonderful women. March is Women's Month.
Yes.
Not women's history necessary.
Right.
It's women's period. So that's us. So guess who we're celebrating tonight?
Us.
Hey, yeah. Look at Clarence.
I'm with y'all.
Jill. Hey, it is what it is. Thank you for joining us. Let us know, who is your woman of the month? So, who is your woman of the month? Who is it? Think about it. Wait. Oh, well, men, if you got more than one, I hear somebody in the audience saying some other stuff.
Yeah.
So
I agree with that.
That's not what I mean.
Say the right name.
We're going to back it up and rephrase it.
Be like, well, who was that? Beyonce, say my name. You better say the right name.
You better say the right name.
Say the right name.
Right.
I thought it was going to be a quiz. I wasn't ready.
Well, I got mine, obviously. I'm going to hold mine. But so let's start with yours. Let's start with yours, Clarence, since you're the minority tonight.
Well, mine is, I wanted to talk about a couple of pioneers in Fort Wayne in women's history, and they were not just in black women's history, they were actually in women's history. And the first one we had on the set a couple of, maybe a week or so ago, I hope y'all all went back and watched it, but she was a pioneer. Her name is Janois Wilson Brabson, and they actually celebrated her over the weekend. Did you go or did you go?
No, I didn't go.
I didn't make it because I had an event myself. But she was the very first female firefighter on the Fort Wayne Fire Department.
Yay.
The very first, not the very first black one.
Yes.
She was the very first woman. She started out as a dispatcher, and she worked there for about 3 or 4 years. But then she went on. A chief approached her, she said, and asked her, "Have you thought about joining the force?" And she was like, yes. And he said, well, I think you're the one. I think you'll be able to handle it. I think you'll be able to go through it. So she went through, I think she said it was a 6 or 8 weeks course, and she graduated from the Fort Wayne Fire Academy. And then she became the first female firefighter. Wow. But not only did she stop at being a firefighter, she went on to do a lot of things in the Fort Wayne Fire Department. I don't know if y'all remember, Jill, I don't know if you went to school in Fort Wayne, but Doc V, I don't know if I know you went to school up in North, right? Okay, but they had this Safety Village. You remember?
We got hecklers. We got hecklers in the audience.
You remember Safety Village, right?
Yes.
But it was down on Wallace Street when we were in elementary school. But when they moved it out to Southtown Mall and they moved it back out there, she had the she helped. Bring forth the Safe Alive House, which was one of the ones that help you understanding how to escape fires. Yeah. She was in a classroom. She became a advocate and going into the classroom, talking about fire safety. She did a whole lot for the fire department. And amazing, she also had a book written about her. I don't know if you know Carolyn Brewer Knox. She actually wrote a book about her. So Ms. Dolores Brabson, Ms. Janois Brabson, we want to thank you for making history in Fort Wayne. And
that's
look
beautiful.
at, I mean, there's been many and many women firefighters that came after her, and she was the first. And I don't want to just say the first black. She was the first woman on the Fort Wayne Fire Department.
A true Wonder Woman.
A true Wonder Woman.
I would say, definitely. That's beautiful.
That's awesome.
I wonder how many more women came after her. You know, like she opened the door and then they, you know, or did it take a long time before they was like, okay, I'm ready for this? Because you got to be ready for that.
You had to be ready for it. And she did. She briefly, but she didn't go into grave details about some of the struggles. But it was a struggle, you know, being the only woman, you know, and at a time, you know, where they weren't. A lot of people weren't ready for change, and they didn't think change was ready to come. She came in to make those changes, but she did what she had to do, and she graduated. And yes, my cousin, who helped with the celebration they had with her over the weekend, Anita Crusoe, she was a firefighter, and she said that was Miss Brabson was an inspiration for her to be able to go and be on the fire department.
Clarence, you got so many cousins. Yes.
We got a big family.
I was going to say you have a
big family. Yes,
very big family.
Yes, we do.
That's beautiful. Jill, do you want to share one of your ladies?
So one of the women that I chose is no longer here, but she's someone that we've discussed before on the panel, and actually someone that I knew nothing about until probably a few years ago, and that's Miss Ann Braden. So the reason why I chose Ann Braden is she was deeply committed to helping in the African American freedom movement, and she was a white woman. And the thing that is so interesting is the way that she was treated then by all people. By white, black, all people, because to the white people, she was a traitor. To the African American community, she wasn't accepted there either at first. And
I was going to say, now, why did the African Americans have a problem with?
So they didn't necessarily have a problem, but she went into, let me back up a little bit. You know how we always say that sometimes we don't feel like we can empathize or understand something until we see it with our own eyes. An example would be George Floyd. When you see something with your own eyes, even though I've told you for 100 years that this is happening, and you are saying that's not true because I haven't seen it.
Okay.
So an example of this is Anne grew up around a bunch of people who in her eyes were racist, were hateful. And she said, but I love these people. So she got into journalism, and she started writing about court cases and court articles, and it didn't take her very long to figure out that there's a problem here. There's a problem in the justice system. There's a problem with someone being quoted in a restaurant that, no, there was no news last night. It was just another that got killed.
Wow.
She witnessed these things firsthand and started seeing them, and that's when she started moving. And she has said in interviews, I knew something was wrong, but I couldn't put my finger on what it really was. And to me, she's just an example of someone who is completely altruistic. And it's not about helping black people or white people.
Right.
It is about, it's
people.
not defending anything. It's defending what is right.
Yes.
And I think that is what we as a people then and now, because it's the same thing now. And you know how I know that is because within a year of sitting up here, myself got more criticism, heard more racist remarks than I ever had. So her accomplishments are chapters long. Obviously, mine are not yet.
Yeah.
But I know how she felt a little bit because I still feel it today. So that's why I just wanted to bring her up. And she has a book I found called The Wall Between. And I want to read it because I'm sure it's very interesting because I heard she talks about a lot of things that she, laid eyes on that weren't talked about. So that's why I chose her.
Yeah, she's definitely a Wonder Woman. But Jill, so it's just unfortunate, but I just want to kind of dig a little bit, not too much, but I do want to dig into the fact that you are experiencing that, and you say you have, and I know you have shared some stories with us before, so I know that you're telling the truth. So this has been going on for a long time. And so I just want to ask this question. Are they people that you're surprised when you hear these comments?
Honestly,
or did you kind of expect it coming from these people?
Like she said back then in the 50s and 60s, the people in her immediate group were people that she loved. But what they believed and how they acted wasn't right. We can still love people. I can still love you and not like the way that you treat Clarence. And tell you that, because the problem was, it wasn't, she was speaking in black churches. She was speaking to black people, but black people weren't the problem. So then she said, okay, I need to speak to the white people.
Okay.
And so, people always feel that because there will always be hate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Always.
And I want to ask you, Jill, you ever see the Blind Side? The
Oh,
movie
it's
The
one of my
Blind Side?
favorites. Yep.
So you had that, you go on the other side of Alabama Street
It's one of my
conversation?
It's exactly. Well, I mean, not exactly, but.
But it's a conversation. You go on the other side of, you remember that?
I remember the movie, but for those that have not seen it,
Well, Sandra Bullock was at a luncheon with a bunch of her friends, and she was talking to, have y'all ever been on the other side of Memphis? And the other ladies were like, where? On the other side of Alabama Street? Like, it was indignant. And she was like, yeah, I've been on the other side of Alabama Street. And it was like, why would you go there? You know, so I had a conversation with somebody else. I said, working with the show, I said, watch out, because you and your friends are going to have that, did you go on the other side of Alabama Street conversation at one
That's
point
true.
in time.
Yeah.
And
That's
she
true.
said she had that conversation. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And people like Anne, they don't pick a side. They want to just, like I said, be on the right side, whatever color that may be, whatever race that may be. So yeah, I think I
excellent.
definitely honor her.
Excellent. And I have to admit, I never heard of her.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that wonderful woman. Yeah. This is Neutral Voices. Thank you for joining us. We are having a wonderful conversation about wonderful women because it is Women's Month. And I know some people's women's history, not necessarily history. So here at Neutral Voices, we're talking about women, whether they are in the past, present, or right here on the panel.
Right.
So, so thank you for joining us. So as I was trying to think of some amazing women, you know, Fort Wayne, we're notorious for the remarkable woman on the northeast side. And I said, well, there's some remarkable, wonderful women on the south side,
Right.
period,
Period.
east and west, right? So one of them that I want to mention briefly, and she would probably say, no, you're not. Her name is Tawanda Parker, and she is my beautiful sister. And she is the owner of Nail Tabulous Salon. She's an excellent nail tech. She did my nails. But she is wonderful. And the reason I think that she falls in the category, I'm thinking wonderful woman, but Wonder Woman, is because she's my youngest sister. I only have one sister, but she's my younger sister. And she gave birth to 5 beautiful daughters, a set of twins. And my sister has taken care of those kids. And when I tell you, she has done an amazing job at just doing the work. And there's so many times, so many nights I say to her, you are so worthy. You are so wonderful. You have no idea how I look up to you. And I've shared that with her, and she was like surprised, like, why? And a lot of times wonderful women don't really realize how wonderful they are because people are not saying their name, but it does not matter if anybody ever says your name.
Right.
Keep doing the wonderful things that you're doing.
True.
And I'll tell you, I tell my sister, I say, girl, you live for those children. And so many times mothers will put themselves aside to take care of their children. They will even throw away a good man just because the children may not like him. They may not be ready to embrace him. And so I just want to say to my sister, I love you. You are amazing. And I am super duper proud of you for doing what you have been doing. My sister has taken care of those kids and worked 2 jobs, doing her own business and her own job for a very, very long time. So that is one of my wonderful women.
I concur with that too.
For tonight.
Absolutely, 100%.
So, and if you want somebody that's not robbing you, I have to just give a shameless plug real quick. Somebody, because when she told me people were out here charging people $165 plus for nails, this is a crime.
I'm in the wrong business.
This
is a crime.
You
Yeah.
said
I'm
you're
in the wrong business.
But I'm saying this is a crime. So if you want somebody that's going to be fair and still do beautiful nails, under $100, I'm just saying, under $100, call my sister. Find her, Nail Tabulous, and she's located inside Optimistic Enterprise.
Yeah, that's good. Your sister she is a wonderful
Yes,
woman.
she
She
is.
really is. And she reminds me so much of your mother. I think I told you that
Yes.
the other day. She just looks like your mom, and just seeing her, it just reminds me so much of your mother.
Yes.
But not only her, but yes, she has done an amazing job. I think 3 or 4 of her daughters. So I
Yeah.
mean, she has done an amazing job. But
Amazing job.
I mean, a lot of times, a lot of single mothers, that do what they have to do and get what they where they need to be, they get overlooked.
They do.
Because they say that's what they're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
That is true, but to a point, you got to understand the strength and the fortitude of the women that are out there, single mothers that's fighting every day.
Yes.
And some a lot not depending on the system or depending on things that that's going to come. The easy way to come, they actually get
That's
out there
right.
and they do. You said she
Do the
worked 2
work.
jobs,
Do
so
the
it's a
work.
lot of women. We want to, we just want to recognize in a whole that are out there doing
Yes.
what they're doing. I mean, it made
When you say that, Clarence, we can share some names of people if you want to share some other names. Because when you say there's a lot of wonderful
Yeah.
women in the community, it may be some people in your family, etc. When you said that, Joyce Graham came to mind because when you start thinking about, yes, she was an awesome mother to her children. But I'm talking about the foster children and the children she has adopted, other people's children that she has loved on. I know I'm one of them.
Right.
She
I'm one of
loved
'em.
on me. So she still loves on me.
I'm one of 'em.
She's like my godmom. And so I just want to say that she came to mind when you said that.
Man.
Wonderful women.
Yep.
Miss Joyce.
Yes,
I
Joyce
hope
Graham
you're watching.
Coates. Yes.
I talk to her all the time, Miss Joyce. Matter of fact, I just saw her this morning.
Yes.
Miss Joyce is one of my favorite women, and I love talking about her. Every time I see JJ, every time JJ's here, one of my first things I ask him is how your mom's doing. And he's like, she's doing well. And he always. But Miss Joyce have been years, have been a foster parent in a foster parent system, and me and JJ had a conversation recently that some kids are now bringing their kids are her grandchildren, and
That's right.
she's extended the generation where they have out of foster care, but she's still loving and taking
Still
care
loving
of
on
them,
them
these
for all of the right
Yeah.
reasons.
for all of the right reasons. And it's not for any reward.
That's
other
what I'm
than
saying,
being
for all of the
self-fulfilling.
right reasons.
If you don't know Miss Joyce, and I know everybody knows Miss Joyce, but if you don't know Miss Joyce, you're missing out on a beautiful, loving woman. And like
That's
you
right.
say, every time you see her, she's smiling and
Yeah.
she's loving on people.
And so
she-
real. That's the part I
So
love.
real.
So
Man.
real.
Well, and I
Yes.
love that you talked about local women or
Yeah.
our sisters, our mothers, our friends, because so many times we all do it as humans, but comparison is the thief of joy. And I think right now with so many people doing things in the community, and you have like this event, and they asked these 4 women to speak, and then there's this event and those women. So sometimes you look
Be
at
the
that
same people.
and you think, I wonder why I'm not one of those women. And the thing is, you are one of those women. Just because you're not chosen
That's right.
today to sit and speak doesn't mean that people are not hearing you.
That's
You
right.
don't have to be something famous and
That's
out
right.
there to still be a wonderful woman. So there are a couple ladies in the community that took me under their wing. Kamisha Anderson in both the professional, Kamisha.
Yeah, I know Kamisha.
The professional world, the personal world. Sometimes God puts you places that you never ever thought you would be.
Yes.
And places that are not comfortable at 1st. And then a year or 2 later, you're like, this is why I was placed here. Kamisha is one of those places, faces, and spaces that God purposely said, you're going to be right
there.
here.
That's right.
Yes.
Right.
That's
and,
right.
And another one before we leave locally, it's a lady that left a legacy to a lot of people, and she loved people regardless of who they were, where they came. She is like, what does the Statue of Liberty say? Give me your tire, your huddle masses, and you're poor. She exemplified this in a neighborhood for years, and that legacy still lives on, and that's Miss Virginia.
Oh, yeah.
Miss Virginia. I mean,
Absolutely.
for Fort Wayne people and her last name is slipping me right now, but Miss Virginia, her foundation or her house is still on Hannah Street.
They still use it, right?
They still use it. They have it,
kitchen?
soup kitchen. They still give clothes out. This woman, out of the goodness of her heart, for years, opened up her house. She was making soup, like had a soup kitchen in her house, giving people food. It grew into a pantry. It grew into a clothing bank. Now it's a foundation, a non-for-profit that, she just took things and went on and expanded them. And hers was, again, like Miss Joyce, she didn't see a color or anything. She just saw people in need and had a heart and love for people that expanded, and it's still going on today. She left a legacy.
Yeah.
Right.
And Condra Ridley.
Marsha.
Oh, yeah.
Marsha.
Marsha
That's
Leslie.
absolutely
Even
right.
after, when she passed, there were people from all different walks of life, whether, they were prosecuted or they weren't. And just people showering the comments with how she impacted their life.
That's
and sometimes you don't realize the impact until someone's gone and everybody does come forward.
Yeah. That's
And she was one of those women for sure.
Yeah, and like you say, people that she had people on the set and things that she had prosecuted, and she's kept in touch with them, and she, stayed with them, and she had a loving heart. But another one that I wanted to talk about is an educator, and I met her after she retired, but or got to know her better after she retired because she retired when I got out of school. But Miss Hannah Stith, do y'all remember Miss Hannah Stith? Miss Hannah Stith, she grew
Her
up in
husband was a
Fort
plumber,
Wayne.
right?
Yes, but she grew up in Fort Wayne, and she became one of the first Black teachers that worked for Fort Wayne Community Schools. She was in the Fort Wayne Community School System for 36 years. She taught.
Wow.
She was an administrator. But what she did for our community, and if you don't go here, you need to go. She was the co-founder of Fort Wayne's Black History Museum. And she fought to get that together. And it's a great place. Have you been?
Yes.
Have you been, Jill? You need to go. It's on Wild... Douglas. Yep, I had to think. I knew the cross street was a Clay, but it's Douglas and Clay. Yep. And you can go in there and you can see it has a great history of it. But Miss Stith, she did a lot in the community. She was on a lot of boards. Miss Stith worked in the community. And for us as children, it was one of those, you didn't just stop being her student. She was
You
always...
was a student at the store or wherever you were.
Wherever you were. And she was always teaching, and she was always reaching out, and she was always looking after the people. And she just another woman that had a loving heart that made this city a better place. And Miss Stith, she was greatly missed, but she was a wonderful woman to me.
Wonderful woman. Well, are we saving mine for last?
I guess.
Are you guys, how long
Well,
is your
because I
song?
got to do a performance.
How long
You
is
gotta
your
do a
song?
performance?
Let me get out real quick.
Yeah. Well, anyway, before we get out of here, so my woman, Wonder Woman, is definitely Mary J. Blige.
Mary J.
Now, and I say that because I have been a Mary J. Okay, wait, let's give it up because Mary is going to rock the different hairstyles. I know y'all remember when she had the braids, the two braids on the side.
Yeah.
She going to give it to you. But, Mary, she was going to blonde it out. So she was known, and she is known right now to rock that blonde. So she rocks it harder than a blonde, a born blonde. Okay. So, but Mary J. Blige, grew up between New York, Yonkers, New York, and Savannah, Georgia.
Yep.
She, unfortunately, watch this. She did drop out of school, but. Anybody thinking about it, don't do it. Don't do it. Because she also said she regretted. So even though I think in 2013, somewhere around there, she got her GED, she has said she regrets doing that and she wished she had a completed high school. Now, here's the thing. She dropped out of high school because she had a recording contract for music.
Right.
So it was interesting the way she was discovered. So off of a karaoke song or something like that, Anita Baker's, what's the song, Clarence? Anita Baker's song. It was real popular back then, but anyway.
I'm going to think of it in just
I
a
was
minute.
getting ready to try to...
Caught up in the rapture of love.
Okay,
No,
there it
no,
is. Okay, they're going to try to shut me down, so I better not...
we heard it.
YouTube was waiting for you to sing it.
Yeah.
There we go.
Sure.
Okay, now you need the right dress on to swing that.
Yeah,
Anita
YouTube
Baker. But
waiting for you to-
anyway, so Mary J. Blige was discovered by Uptown Records singing that song and in some little cheap studio in the mall. So, and then she was signed with Uptown Records. Is that right?
Yeah.
So somewhere in 1988, I believe.
Yeah, somewhere in there. She was
Yeah.
like 16 or 17. And her story is amazing. Like it's one of those, hers is actually an overnight success. People don't understand, but Mary J is one of those overnight successes.
Overnight success.
She recorded, I don't know how many of y'all remember, but they used to have these little recording booths in the mall. And you're right, it was like a karaoke, but you could go and you could select a song and you put your $1.50, $3, how much it was, and then play the song and you can sing over the song. And she sung.
They should bring that back.
They should bring that back.
They should bring that back.
But she ended up recording her demo, and her demo got in the hands because her and Puffy, Sean Combs were
P. Diddy.
friends.
He did it.
Another friend connected them to him, and
Yes.
he played it for Andre Harrell at Uptown Records, and that's when she, signed her deal. But I got a question for all y'all Mary J fans right there. What was the first song you heard Mary J on? What was the first
When you
song?
say on, like she was performing on it?
Yes.
Like,
What was the first? What
one
was
I
your
remember?
first introduction to Mary J. Blige?
I don't remember. I would say
I just know the 411, the album, and I don't know.
the Sweet Thing. I mean, I don't remember where I heard that as far as a timeline, that remake, but it'll always be one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But I don't remember.
Shaka Khan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember when it was.
All right. I want y'all to go Google this video. Look it up on YouTube. It's Father MC. If You Do For Me. If you do for me.
I know it.
Go watch that video. Go watch
Okay,
that
and
video.
so Mary J is on there
Mary
singing?
J, she's singing that hook. That's the one singing that hook.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's Mary J.
Okay.
Mary J is on that hook.
Well,
Watch her in the video.
Look at us learning.
Go back and watch that
About my
video.
girl. So let me drop some stuff, so we can get this right, so y'all can really know about Mary J. Outside of her being a songwriter and a singer and all of that, she also is into acting now. Have you seen her in something lately?
Power, is it on Power?
Yeah, like
looks good,
one of those
too.
ghosts. Oh yeah,
She looks
honey.
good.
Let's not
Still.
talk about how good she looks.
know,
But
it's-
anyway, also known as the Queen of Hip Hop, and the reason is because of her unique blend of hip hop and R&B. So Mary J make you feel some type of way. I'm telling you, you just got to get your vibe on. If you have not listened, because some people just think that Mary J. Blige be singing sad songs.
That's the only time y'all like Mary J.
I'm just saying,
Y'all don't like
y'all
Happy
wrong.
Mary
Y'all
J.
wrong
Y'all
about
don't like
that
Happy Mary
because
J.
do.
Y'all don't
Come
like
on,
Happy
when
Mary
she be
J.
saying, I've been to the edge of the ledge, but I didn't jump. I just want to tell the women, you can't hold a good woman down. Her songs are positive.
I like what I see when I'm looking at me and I'm walking past
through the
mirror.
mirror. Come on here.
Yeah.
Come on,
So you got
Clarence.
it. So I think what it is. Is that those are the songs that the record or the radio stations or somebody put out first, and that's all they keep playing.
I think y'all sound like miserable. Man.
No. But now you know what? I have to give it up because I was really surprised that they played the crap out of Fine, Fine, Fine. So, that's like the women's anthem. I mean, they did do that. So that was good. But I just want to say, so, she make you feel some type of way. She will, pull on your heartstrings. And ladies, that's the girl. Y'all be talking about the Beehive, but we got to come up with a name. Mary J got her own thing going on. Anyway, Grammy Award winning Best R&B Album, Best Female R&B for vocals. So many albums. We can go album,
Best
album,
collaboration
album,
of
My Life, 411, collaboration.
On a rap
with-
album?
And yes, see, and also singing with all these different people, with Jodeci, Jay-Z, Drake, Method Man, and so many other ones. And this latest one, Vadu, I Still Believe in Love. And I dare you to try to write one of your favorite Mary J. Blige songs. You're going to find yourself say, okay, no, not that one.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, this one, and No More Drama, and The Child, and all these other things. And we was talking about them before. But anyway, so Mary J. Blige was known for the bling. And let me tell you, she was known for the sunglasses, right? We already know. So y'all already know.
You sound like a true fan,
Wait,
Dr. D.
sunglasses. Look, one of the things that I liked about Mary J. Now listen at this. So y'all take note. Mary J. Blige, I heard her say, why would I spend all my money on all diamonds and carats when some of the cubic zirconia look just like it? And because of my status, guess what people gonna think when I blend them together?
Exactly.
Boom! home, and she was also known for a nice handbag and some popping looks. I'm telling you,
Not the props. Not
No,
the-
yeah.
She came all Mary J out.
Not the props.
and them thigh high boots. Y'all know y'all seen it. And I would get up and show y'all her favorite dance, but you know they can't handle it. Y'all ain't ready for
Mary
it.
J.
Anyway, so obviously Mary J is one of mine.
I got to give you that. Mary J is one of the best concerts I've ever seen.
The concert,
One of the best
I was
concerts I've ever
crazy.
seen.
I was losing my mind. They had her on the screen and made it look like she was about to walk off some stairs and like she was coming to the audience, but it was on the screen. And then when they kept going, she ended up walking straight out there, and I thought she was about to give me high five because I had a good seat. So anyway, before they turn us off, I just want to say, listen, this is Neutral Voices in Depth, and we have been talking about wonderful women because it is Women's Month.
Yes.
And so I just want to thank you guys for sharing the beautiful women. So in our community, there's so many of you. We definitely could not name all of you.
No.
So we love you from Neutral Voices. Happy Women's History today, present, tomorrow, forever month. All right?
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you for hanging with us. See you next time. And as we always say,
Always protect your mind.
thank you. A podcast by Neutral Voices
Your thoughts
Media.
count, your opinions
NV,
important, so you
NV.
gotta speak out. Don't let your chance to be heard pass by. Spell out, let me hear you loud, proud. Shout it out, real loud. Everybody wake up, shout it out, real loud. Everybody wake up, wake up. No time for sleeping on the issues. This is Neutral Voices, we gon' deal with the issues.